It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the AFC North. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. All that and more coming up next.
Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Today, we've got a good one on tap in the AFC North, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. But Charles, this Ravens team been so successful in recent years, 10 or more wins in 4 of the last 5 seasons. What do they need to do to take that next step?
Well, the way the Ravens have played for a lot of their franchise history, we know the defense is going to take care of business. They're going to keep you in every ball game. I think on offense, can they throw the ball more proficiently, especially out wide to the receivers, and make plays that way to continue to open up running lanes for a team that we know loves to move the ball along the ground?
Meanwhile, for the Browns, they come off a 7-10 season a year ago. Not great, but not a total loss either. Now, you think there are building blocks in place?
They are there. Look at what they did last year. Their pass defense was number 5 in the league. Their rushing attack, 6th best in the league. They have players. They have a system. They just need to put it all together.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Jackson now. And overcooked it up. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
But you got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his number 1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. There he goes, right side. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. On target to his man, likely. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a prime.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, CD, that was a well-orchestrated drive by Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and how about the way he capped it off, too? Orchestrate the drive and then let everybody know exactly who the guy is on the field you've got to watch on every play. Finishes it off with a touchdown run.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. They'll be led out by a rookie 5th-round pick out of UCLA, Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Thompson-Robinson looking to throw it. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens will take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
Jackson's throw is on target to Likely. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. 2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Thompson-Robinson letting one fly deep for Cooper. That's going to be knocked away
the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Now a hit and a loose football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They got to get going.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw is Jackson. Setting up the screen here to Edwards. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so, they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over here up near the 40. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw is DTR. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they've been kept off the scoreboard in this first half, but here toward the end, they're trying to change that in one fell swoop, but that winds up incomplete.
Fighting to stay upright, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 3rd and 20. Thompson Robinson will look to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The Ravens were led in that first half by who else? The former MVP, Lamar Jackson. His touchdown run was the lone score of those first 2 quarters as his guys hold a 7-0 lead. Both teams going back through their game plans, making their final halftime adjustments. And for the call of the second half, we go back up to Baltimore and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Breaks through the contact. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Thompson Robinson throwing here. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded at the 20. Now a hit and a loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately, that spark got doused.
Yeah, and you call special teams the third phase, but you see here it can be the first phase sometimes.
That is so true, right? It can ignite it one way or the other, and boy, that didn't help them at all.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Ford. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Fighting his way through contact, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jerome Ford taking it in from the 20, and the Browns are an extra point away from evening this one up. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine, but going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So many times tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Justin Hopkins set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Myles Garrett, the all-pro defensive end, there on the stop. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches. At the Browns,
Jackson.
37-yard line.
That's out to him. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. And Jackson throwing once more. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and a couple. Play action. Now Jackson. Pass out left, finds Kohler. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And it's caught. And the Ravens are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up the first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough slip.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Justice Hill taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now the Browns coming out on the field. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Look at the big fella go. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jordan Akins, 79 yards. And the Browns strike quickly to take the lead here in the fourth. Obviously a huge touchdown for their team, but a big touchdown for a rookie quarterback here to be able to break the tie in the fourth quarter.
And he just shook off all the pressure, too. Because when you think about it, tie ball game, rookie quarterback, most of them are thinking, don't make a mistake. Instead, this young man just said, I'll make a play.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 21-14. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And the Ravens taking the field. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. A short one there, caught by Likely. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Jackson. Pass complete, it's Likely. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Here's 1st down. Here's Jackson. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Jackson. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. Two timeouts still at their disposal. Here's a 1st and 10 now. Jackson to throw. That'll be caught by Hill. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Throwing, Jackson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now Jackson. Oh, no, lost the football. going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Here it is. 4th and inches. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed he did not. They stop him. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this Browns defense stands tall.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Here we go, set.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd down and 4. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Browns 1st down. It has been a struggle, but it's looking like that'll be the one to seal a victory.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Here we go, here we go.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes.